Hello, you're welcome to my world. My name is Oluchi Madu and I'm a family life practitioner who majors on talent maximization. Today I will be discussing raising a wholesome and great child in a challenging environment. Before I proceed, I would like to ask you a question and I will need your honest answer. If you were awarded an international contract where you are expected to train the child of the USA president using a scripted manual and following a particular model, and of course 247 surveillance camera covering your activity with these children, would you do this job intentionally? Would you honor these contracts intentionally? Yes, I can see you. You are in deep thoughts. And I can hear you saying, yes, I will do it intentionally. Because of course, surveillance cameras are there. It involves the USA president. And you know what it means to raise the child of the USA president. Now, that leads me to another question. Why does it seem that it's very difficult for some parents and child handlers to take care of the children that are entrusted in their care by the president of the presidents? Why? I will tell you a story. Sometime in 2016 in Lagos, Nigeria, our child of 4 years old came back home from school with a swollen face and a very sharp mark very close to her eye. On close inquiries, we found out that her teacher instructed her classmates to flog her because she couldn't assign a pronoun to a name that she wrote on the board. As if that wasn't enough, we also learned that she seized her snacks and allowed every other children to finish their own snacks before she released her snacks for her. So our daughter came home emotionally traumatized, with her self-esteem badly damaged. I wouldn't want to bore you with what happened after between our family and the school, but we moved her to another school thinking that the effect of that ugly experience was going to be rectified by change of environment. Little did we know that it was going to be a very long and stressful journey, because we noticed that our daughter developed a very unreconcilable hatred for English language as a subject. And in fact, she hated school. Everything to get her interested in going to school was wow. She didn't want to have anything to do with school. She would wake up in the morning so grumpy, crying. She wouldn't want to go to school. And in the verge of trying to get her back to herself, we swung into action, doing all manner of researches, making some researches to ensure that we got it right with her. And this was a child that was full of confidence, the bubbly, happy child that used to look forward to going to school. All of a sudden, it was just as if, a light was put off in her. So in the course of trying to get her back to her normal self, I also took up a child psychology course. And as we are making our researches and all that, I stumbled on something very interesting. I discovered that when a child explores his or her creative abilities, it boosts his self-esteem and confidence. And that was the magic that our daughter needed. Our daughter loves singing, she loves music, so we quickly set up musical instruments for her, and she started playing musical instruments, singing, always singing. And we started noticing something, the normal Daniela that we used to know started coming back. The happy Daniela that we used to know started coming back. From there, working with her, she started writing songs. And from writing songs, she started writing stories. And that was how our child's confidence was restored. Now, it's not only that she got back to herself, to become her usual bubbly, happy child. Recently, she won an award in her school, the best in English language. That same subject, the best in English language in her school here in England. Now, you may be wondering, why is it that a teacher that is supposed to build children's self-esteem ended up being a terror to a child? And that brings me to my belief. I do believe that teaching profession is a gift. It is a call. And I also believe that parenting is also a call and a gift. And I always plead with people, if you know that you don't have passion for handling children, or that you will not take care of them intentionally, bearing in mind that you are raising children for a king, raising them especially the way they are designed to be, please do not pick any profession that has anything to do with children. Because if you pick such profession, the children will end up being the victim. Yes. Now, another truth that we need to know here is that there is no child that was born unintelligent. Yes, no child is unintelligent. Rather, we have adults that use unintelligent approaches to handle these children. We have adults that use unintelligent approaches trying to impact these children, and that does not give positive results. Every child is designed to learn in a very unique way. There are children that learn through listening, the auditory processors. They listen attentively and they get engaged in discussion. They learn better this way. There are also children that learn by visuals. The visual processors, they watch the parents, they watch the teachers, they watch the child handler, demonstrate things, and it sticks to their memory. There are also other children that learn by touch. The tactile learning children. These ones, they would want to draw, they would want to doodle, a lot of things, trying to stick them in their memory. When they are touching things, is sticking in their memory, they are learning. These are different ways that children can learn. Then there are also another interesting set of children who learn by movement, the kinesthetic children. These ones, sitting them at a place is like punishing them. They learn by movement. They learn by movement. So keeping them still in a class is like punishing them. And when you keep them that still, they will not learn anything. And that's when you hear those that do not understand this set of children saying that they are unintelligent. They start calling them unprintable names and all of that. Have you seen that every child is intelligent, but what we have are adults that use unintelligent approaches to follow these children? Now, another truth is that you can never impact a child that you don't have connection with. Yes. In my newest book called The Lighted Candle, it details how a child handler can easily connect with a child to impact your information, to impact your knowledge. Many parents break their head that the children do not listen to them, do not learn from them, do not connect with them. You can never impact a child that you don't have deep connection with. Apart from the fact that if you don't have a deep connection with this child, that you wouldn't even know how to connect with this child because you don't know the best strategy to use to reach out to this child. This child is likely to build a very thick and long wall, a very tall wall between you and him, because he doesn't seem to understand you either. So when this happens, or whatever you are trying to do is like, it will be hitting the wall and bouncing back to you. Nothing is penetrating. There are children, the extroverted children are the life of the party. They are everywhere, boisterous, very expressive. While the introverted children are in their own world. They are always quiet in their own world. But when you don't understand them, you want them to be everywhere. At times I hear people say, oh, you talk too much. You should shut up. You're a parrot. You talk too much. Other ones will say, oh, you are too quiet. Why don't you run around like your sister? Why don't you run around like your brother? Why are you too quiet? Move your legs. Whenever you hear such statements, you know that the child handler does not have knowledge of how best to connect with the child he's looking after. Pinde and Taye may be identical twins, born of the same parent, the same day, but their personality different is as different as the word different itself. Their personality different can be worlds apart. You can have 10 children in your care, but their personalities are so different. The way you handle Ada, the way you impact Ada, the way you reach out to Ada may not work with Simbi. The strategy you use to reach out to Biola may not work out with Ogene. They are different and uniquely made in their own way. And until you understand this, you cannot connect with them. Now, a child that you cannot connect with, you cannot impact. Have you seen why it is very difficult for some people to teach and impact children that are interested in their care? For you to be able to teach a child or impact a child with a knowledge, you must have a deep connection with this child. You must have a deep connection with this child. You must learn the personality of this child so that you know the strategy to impact this child with. And you must also know the kind of learning strategy that will suit this child. In my book called The Lighted Candle, it's a beautiful book that's written in form of a novel. I infused all this information so that children can read and understand themselves. It's a self-training tool, which means that a child can pick up this book after reading it. The child will learn so many things about himself and start implementing and living accordingly. It's also a tool that a parent, a teacher, or all child handlers can read and learn how to connect with their children, how to reach out to them, how to impact them, and how to make them to explore their creative abilities. And that brings us to another topic. Do you know your child's talents? Do you know your child's creative ability? Do you know your child's gifts? Do you know that a child that learns how to explore his creative ability early in life tends to build a great future early in life too? You may be asking why. Yeah, creative abilities help the children to build their self-confidence, like I said before. It helps them to choose course of studies. When a child chooses a course of study that is in line with his talent, choosing a career path won't be a hassle. And when someone works in a career path that is in line with his or her talent, it's heavenly. Because this person will have fulfillment, will be happy, and also create wealth and greatness. Because talent is the seed of greatness. Now in my next video, I'll be teaching you how you can discover your child's talents. But before then, I will also encourage you to get my book, The Lighted Candle, because it is a detailed tool that will teach you how to connect with your child and the best strategy to teach your child. With the knowledge in that book, it will be very easy for you to help your child to discover his or her talent. But when you don't know how to connect with your child, you will not know the best way to teach your child to explore his creative abilities. So click on the link in the comment section. Click on the link in the comment section to get a copy of my book, Delighted Handle. Read it with your family. I always recommend family to read this book together. Like I've recommended so many to read it this month so that they will review the book and draw out, sieve out all the learnings they can think of. So get this book for your children, for your family. Read and discuss together. Then after that, you will now be equipped on how to reach out to your child, on the best way to teach your child, because after reading this book, you will learn the personality of your child and know the best learning strategy that you will use. Then you can confidently learn how to explore your child's talent and how to teach him also to explore his or her talents. So to get my second video, also click on the link below and I will be seeing you in